Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. If you want to build a company with an army of ambassadors and raving fans who speak highly of you and refer you willingly, you are in the right place. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
Welcome, everyone, to another amazing episode of Referrals Podcast. We are on the road to 1 million downloads. You all are helping us get there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching Referrals Podcast. Whether you are listening on your favorite audio podcast or you are watching on youtube.com/getreferrals. We appreciate you and thank you for being here. What if you could base your entire marketing for the next year all from 1 month's activity? What if 1 month could launch 12 months of your marketing and your business when it comes to referrals? What if November was that 1 month that truly took you to the next level in your business? And what if I told you it's happened to this guy, it's happened to the host, and it's happened to a lot of other people? Today, we are discussing the most powerful marketing piece to ever leave your office, and it doesn't cost more than a couple of bucks. How about that? That's what we're covering today. I cannot wait to dive deep into it. I have to give a quick shout out to Kathleen Garden. She is a realtor in Shelby Township, Michigan. It's a Michigan themed show today. Oh, I am all in for Notevember. Getting my festive paper together, cards all ready, and of course stamps. I am ready to go. So Kathleen, thank you so much. We appreciate your enthusiasm and your shout out for Notevember coming up on November 1st. And with that said, that is a great lead into our call to action today, which it's not too late to join the Notevember challenge. All you have to do is go to notevember.com, Notevember.com. Best deal we've ever done. This is the best challenge that we do in the holiday season. Put your appreciation in writing. You're going to love it. Every day you get coaching from me. Every day you get a short video. Every day you get a little short action item. I prompt you on who you should write a note to, because sometimes you're like, who should I write the note to? But not only do I prompt you who, I also maybe give you a little tidbits on what to say. And I even give you examples of notes that I would write. And that way you can easily write that one note and accomplish the challenge, which, ladies and gentlemen, is 30 notes in 30 days. It's time for you to put your appreciation in writing at notevember.com. And to kick that off, we have the champion of Notevember for the last at least 5 years, maybe every year, but for sure the last 5 years. Our guest today is a true veteran and leader in the real estate industry, licensed since 1984. He's been voted Realtor Associate of the Year, served as president of his local board, and holds both his GRI and CRS designations. He's based in beautiful Grand Rapids, Michigan, where he's known not just for his real estate expertise, but also for his deep civic involvement and passion for giving back to the community. Outside of real estate, he's an avid reader who loves all things water sports. He's married to his wonderful wife, Jackie, and together they built a beautiful family with 3 daughters, 7 grandkids, and 2 great-grandkids. And 2 of the grandkids are daughters that are in travel volleyball, which is taking up quite a bit of his time these days. Please help me welcome back to Referrals Podcast, Mr. Dave DeBruyn. Dave, welcome.
Thank you very much, Michael. Nice to be back.
Nice to be back.
We met last in 2020.
It's amazing, isn't it? How time flies, and we get the opportunity to have these conversations occasionally. And man, I thought you'd quit learning at one point. I thought you'd quit going. I thought you'd quit doing these thousands of notes. And here you are, you're just adding to it and building off it every single time we talk. It's just amazing. I applaud your growth, right?
Yep.
Never stop growing, never stop growing. So let's start at the beginning. How did you first get started and introduced to the Notevember challenge? And what inspired you to take it from 30 notes in 30 days to more than 1,000 handwritten notes every single November?
Well, it all started meeting you when you were still in Kansas City. And you had a platform there that I liked. And then you started to explore and finish your book, 7L, which I suggest everybody buy and read and take it in true meaning, because it does exactly what we need to do as real estate agents or any professional for that matter. But we started, and you advanced in 2011 to starting a program called November. And I ran a mailing campaign in November for Thanksgiving cards. And I read everything you wanted to do with November, and I said, this is just ideal. A card in November is good because you're not sending Christmas cards to everybody. They keep it, they remember you. And I was tagging myself then too. I would say Thanksgiving, my brokerage, me, number, just to keep things going. But November, it wasn't set up that way. It was to set up an appreciation note that went out, and that we would say thank you. It was an appropriate time to say thank you. It was Thanksgiving, but then put a PS on it and saying, market is really good. Upcoming things are challenging, but I got new news for you. So give me a call when you have an opportunity. There's no branding. There's no asking for business. It's just thank you. And it's amazing what we've created, Michael. You are just a master at motivating people every day. And every year you and Sherry and the team puts together a new format that should really inspire people. Instead of going to third parties and trying to get business from them, and especially now with what changed with buyer agency and everything, all these third party leads, these agents don't know these buyers. They're just trying to get them into a deal from buying leads. All of my business is all referral. They all come to me from November and every note that goes out during every day. So that's how it started.
Well, I love that. Like I said, and I think if I had to double check, you might have won. What was it? 2013 was the first year of Notevember. Was it 2013? 2011. So 14 years we're going on Notevember. And I'm not sure if I remember a year where you didn't win. I remember one year you and Sue Vinsel were going at it. Like, and was that was the first time you broke 1,000? Is that right? When she was like, it's so funny. We'd watch the note tracker which tracks how many notes everybody are reading or writing. And it would be like Sue would get 27 in one day. And then Dave would have 28. And it would just like watching you two just go. It was just very inspirational, right?
It made November perfect because Sue was so fun and competitive, and we just communicate. We still do. Watch her on Facebook, and you're real proud of her, and she's a go-getter. But we all become go-getters because of you, Michael, because it drives the business and gets us excited. It's really good.
So walk us through the process. How do you plan, organize, and execute writing 1,000 notes ever in a single month, right? You're writing 1,000 notes during Notevember. So how do you set that up?
Now, when you're writing that many, I preset during the year. So as I'm getting ready in the summer, you pre-envelope your contacts. And the contacts are based. When you look at 11, when we had 600, that was true people out of the database that we really wanted to say thank you and make contact. Then every year becomes 30 or 40 more because you're doing 50 deals a year, and you add another 50 to your list. So thank you, Michael. You build it up to probably 1,500 by next year with the 15th anniversary. But it's so rewarding to get and exciting. We do this business every day. So you want to sit down and take your business serious. So write a note and put it in an envelope, because it takes little time to do 3 notes a day and send them out or stockpile them for your event. And I just think it's silly when you can waste more time on something frivolous when you can do something productive for your business.
Yeah, I truly believe that the handwritten note is the most powerful marketing piece to leave a person's office. I really do, because what do we want in a marketing piece? We want something that grabs their attention. Any marketing piece or any piece that's mailed to them is usually just thrown away. But a handwritten note sticks out like far above anything, even more than the bills, even more than the white envelopes. So you grab it, it's going to get their attention. And it's actually, how many times have you picked up a handwritten? You're like, I'm wondering what they wrote about. So it also kicks in interest. And then you open it up and you read it and you're like, oh my gosh, that is so nice of them to say, which leads to that desire to stay in relationship. And then you hit the last A of ADA, which is action, and you put that PS in there with a way for them to reach out to you and go from there. I can't think of a better marketing piece than a handwritten note. We don't think of it that way. We think of it as simply appreciation and gratitude and just a nice thing. And what most people think of it is, I should write more handwritten notes as part of my business. That's what most people think. But the cool thing about Notevember is, if you had a client in January and you haven't written a handwritten note, you could write a handwritten note to that client in Notevember, and guess what? They're going to love it. It's not going to seem like it's too late. It's not going to seem like it doesn't fit. You're just going to say, it's the time of the year. I feel really appreciative, and I just really wanted to thank you for being a part of my year and a part of my clientele this year. Please know your support, trust, and confidence are always appreciated. And guess what? They're going to get it on November 15th, and they're going to love it. Yeah. So
We just had a deal where this gentleman lost his wife and he was looking for referral. And I got referred to him from one of my ambassadors. And he needs to get the house in order and get things out of the house that his wife had. And he said, I'm not going to list until spring. But I put a presentation together, marketing campaign, and I emailed it to him, which we all do. But I also sat down and thanked him for the opportunity to hear his story, look at his house, hear about his wife, and I sent a note. And that note was 3 times better than any marketing proposal I could have sent him, because it secured our friendship and our ability to do business in the spring. It doesn't get any better than this, Michael. It just works all the time.
I'm telling you, you nailed it there, right? I don't feel complete with a proposal or a potential client until I've written that handwritten note and sent it out the door. I feel, have I done everything I can to get a yes from this client or to move this relationship further? If I haven't written the note, I feel like I haven't done everything possible. If I've written the note, it's okay. It's in their park. It's in their grasp or whatever. It's in their control on whether this relationship continues. And if they want to, we'll keep going. But if it doesn't, there's a sense of completeness too that comes with writing that handwritten note that is, okay, I've followed up. This is good. I don't know. It's just one of those. Do you feel that way where it's like you don't feel quite right until you write the note because the habit is so ingrained?
I'm so conditioned out of all these years. I always sit down at the end of the day and write notes to those people that I met today.
Yeah.
We're so insensitive out there now, and our profession is about people and dedication and professionalism. And if they throw junk mail out as soon as they get their mailbox open, but they'll open that envelope. It's handwritten. And I emphasize every time I have an opportunity to talk to you, but you have to follow the rules, Michael. It's got to be blue ink. It's got to be written to the right. It's got to be a non-brand. You like your lighthouses, but I still send out white envelopes.
I did yesterday. You're going to be so proud of me. I was looking all over my dang house for a colored envelope. And I had a stack of these white envelopes to go with some cards. And I was just like, you know what? The worst card is the one unsent. So I'm just going to I'm just going to write it. I'm going to send it on a white envelope and call it good. So
There you go.
but it doesn't feel quite right until it's like a red or a blue envelope for me. So anyway, I love it. I love it. You've said that handwritten notes are your marketing plan essentially for the entire year. How does writing these notes in November and participating in November translate into results? People want results. They want referrals. So how does this help you get referrals the next 12 months?
If you remember old mailing marketing, if you mailed out 5,000, you could get 50 responses and maybe 5 listings or appointments. That theory is still out there. We just accelerated it with November. And you start 2011 with 600, and I got 20 referrals. I didn't get referrals from Thanksgiving cards. I got a call, but now it became something they appreciate, saying thank you for doing something. And you remember your philosophy, you send out 1,000 referrals, you're going to get 500 back. And you're so spot on the that. So 600 in 2011 to 1,010 last year with 60 referrals. And I got thinking about where all of this has gone for the last 9, going up to making my way up to 15. I'm getting old, Michael. I'm going to retire someday, right? But you still have your friends, and you still have all of this you've built all these years. It just doesn't go away. And so your platform, I must say this, 7L with ambassadors, champions, potentials, friends, and then delete. If I have found that my 20 treasures that always go out on day one, they're already ready to go. On day one, all 20 treasures, which are my ambassadors, they get their notes on day one. The champions, those people that you say put into A from your A plus, I followed this for years, and I have now put it together in the last 2 years that the C's, the friends, the November people are moving up to A because I've been truly dedicated sending these out every year, and they all are waiting for November for those because they were expecting it. Yeah. But they have now become champions. And so 20 treasures can become 30, but then they are done and you replace them. But your program, I don't think when you designed it, you could understand how well we could implement November that would enhance our C's to become A's. It's truly visible on my marketing in my clientele. Love it.
Yeah. And the thing that you just said, you described the ranking system of the A plus A, B, C, D very well. And that's what we hope to do through many different methods with our networking and with our conversations, our communication, phone calls, events, and everything else. What we really want to do is we want to take the C's, the friends and family, who are maybe more casual about a relationship than professional. But we want to take them up the ladder to the champion, which is they refer you at least one piece of business every year. And then once we get somebody that's a champion, then we really want to implement ambassador development program or some type of thing where we love on that person so much that it raises to an A plus, which is your ambassadors. These are people who speak highly of you and refer you multiple times and often throughout the year. They're always thinking about you and helping you grow your business. What's amazing about that is that you isolated the handwritten note or power note as a way to get them to climb the ladder. Like the handwritten note was the thing that really made an impact on those different people to where they appreciate your professionalism. They understand you're still in the business. They understand you want referrals, and you've made the handwritten note a really powerful piece of that and isolated. Like for me, my way of doing it was events. Like my events were the way that I took casual and turned them into champions. I turned champions into ambassadors. And once they were ambassadors, they got a whole new set of events. You have done it from the perspective of handwritten notes, And I just applaud that because that's, first of all, it's cheaper. Second of all, you can do a handwritten note anytime you want. So there's not a lot of setup on it. You can do it at 11 o'clock at night. You can do it at 5 o'clock in the morning. You're not going to interrupt anybody doing it. Nobody has to make plans to do it or receive it. I just love that brilliant way that you have taken them up through the hierarchy with simply here's the other thing, being really referable, being really professional, being really competent, being a master communicator definitely helps too. But the thing is, you've honed it as your handwritten note is going to be the weapon of choice to love on people, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I was 40 again. Because when you followed up, when you and Sherry implemented the next 30 days after November, and I look at what you're inspiring the Gen people to do with events and all that. I don't do events like I applaud it, but I'm just need my database to want to do business the following year. I'm not trying to build another, I couldn't handle any more of that if I wanted, and I'm not positioned anymore. But what we're doing is inspiring my Sammy last year in our office. We got him a book, not the black one. We got him a book.
Nice.
and he's been following leads and he writes notes. And he's he was upcoming realtor of the year last year, and now he's doing great business. And it's all because he follows a basic format. That's where he's getting his leads.
I love the flex of the black book, right? That's one of the first 25,000 copies right there behind you. You need to keep that. That's a treasure. I've got a few of those around the house.
It's the third book. You sent me the third signature book.
Yeah, now it's the white one, right? Now we're like on the 15th edition of 7L. So love it. All right. So this does kind of lead into the personal side of things where you were talking about wish you were 40 and the energy and that kind of thing. What impact has Notevember had on you personally? Like your energy, relationships, or even your attitude towards your business?
I get motivated in October for November because I know it's coming and I'm prepared for notes to be sent out. Now, granted, I'm sending out notes every day now. I'm going to do this contest this year just like you started on November 1. Doesn't matter what I sent out over during the year. I'm ready to send out 33 a day, and we'll be
33 a day.
33
I
a
love
day.
it. Not 30 notes in 30 days, but 33 a day.
Remember the old days, Michael, back in Kansas City when you were just a go-getter and I was just having fun. You would make 20 calls in the morning, 20 calls in the afternoon, 20 calls at night.
For sure.
So you write notes down.
Yeah.
Because nobody's I'm not going to text them. So I take that time that was always on my calendar, which is your calendar now. It's all in color. Yeah. But my calendar still tags me for luncheons, the meetings, networking. And it's never left my calendar base because it's the perfect calendar setup. So phone tags all day long. But if people understand the importance of this, and I tell them all the time, just sit down and write a thank you note and put a PS. Lots of fun coming up. Interest rates. We've been telling people interest rates may go down, but the price of the home will go up. Now it's your time to buy. And the young Gen Z don't get it, but they got to be told so that they can. I see AI being detrimental to the industry in one way, and that is you're not being hands-on anymore. And my clientele wouldn't think about calling anybody else right now. And I'm on great grandchildren now. My clients with their siblings to their grandchildren. And so how do you put a price tag on that, Michael? It just keeps getting better and better and more rewarding. And if you want to be in this business to be self-satisfied on your performance every month, this is the program to be in. Yeah. When November starts and everybody listening that signed up and is going to be participating, you can't wait to open that video on the next morning to see what you're going to bring us.
When you say things like that's inspiring to me, and I do put a lot of time, energy, and effort into the videos just to try to make them a little more entertaining, make them as short as possible. Always a concern, but no. And it's different when I'm doing the videos is that I used to not be able to think about who was going to open and watch them. Now it's very easy for me to think about you and to think about, and I can't wait for Dave to open this one. Like Veterans Day this year, I can't wait for you to open. I can't wait for these different ones to just, they're different, they're tweaked, they're even better, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Remember, the 10th is the Marine Corps birthday, and that's
That's right.
250 years. So
Yeah.
you get to celebrate Veterans Day and Marine Corps birthday back to back. So
Both in November. Like,
Yeah.
how great is that? Some of the
It
greatest days are in November with Thanksgiving and Marine Corps Day and Veterans Day. And I think then actually National Appreciation Day is in November as well.
So we end up sending to mayors and council
Yep.
people and elected people. The calendar is real easy to follow leads to get. And how you portray what you want to do, pack your shoe, get ready. It's good, very good motivational stuff. And,
Yep.
and I owe you a lot, Michael. You just stayed focused on this. You get better and you added another 30 to it. These people are really being rewarded over Michael Maher and Referral Podcast and Jen, and I love it all.
Thank you. All right. So stories. Can you share a story or two about a specific referral or a specific client or opportunity that came directly from one of the handwritten notes? And you've told me dozens and dozens of stories over the years, but what's maybe a story that pops into your head when it comes to after a note you sent?
I have a team of their landscapers, and we've been referring them out to clients all over. And they're both just quite motivated. They do wonderful jobs. I am the marketing agent for the Kentwood Public Schools construction program, which is a detailed class that puts the students to build it from bottom to top and fill it in and buy the products and everything. And I got them started 3 years ago on doing the landscaping and underground sprinkling for this new build. And now they moving forward and they wanted to do a flip. So they started to buy this house for a flip. And then, of course, being that I refer them, I get the listing. But they're just building momentum now, especially on the off season when we get out of their landscaping period, they're going to be doing another flip. And it's just, when you look back of what you just created by just saying, these guys are really good, refer them out, and you preached it for so many years, but it comes right back. And they're so happy. And then I have another Indian family that's here that owns liquor stores and gas stations, and dad moved from India now, and all the cousins are buying houses. And because I've serviced them and I send them notes, and we talk about November, Mike, but the parents are going to go to India. I told Jay that I wanted to go to the house and say goodbye and spend a moment with them. And I got there that day and we had tea and we visited and they were leaving. But the father said, there's a man that said he was going to stop and say goodbye, and he actually showed up. And for that, this guy is going to have our business. And I did it by the nature of my heart, but I wouldn't have never missed an opportunity to say goodbye, just like I wouldn't miss an opportunity to send a note.
Powerful.
You got a marketing program that's second to nobody. You can't buy leads at $5,000. What this program will do for anybody in 30 days. Ask anybody that's going on the program in November now and say, you do 30 notes or even 2 extra a day, you're going to end up with 35 referrals. And what are you going to do with 35 referrals? Most of those people would die for something more than 8. If they get 35 referrals on buying or selling, they're going to be very happy realtors.
Yeah, don't overpromise here. Don't overpromise. We want to underpromise, overdeliver. We
Oh,
love it that it's the surprise that they get for Christmas, that they get a referral for Christmas or two or
right.
8 or more. But all right.
And
So
I understand you don't like to overpromise. I don't do that either. But this program works so well that those that are starting have to understand that don't get behind, get excited. Do it every day because catching up isn't exciting, but getting excited to write the next note the next day is exactly what you try to preach to us.
that actually brings up a good point is all right. So if someone's listening, they've never done Notevember or thinks they're too busy to do Notevember. What advice would you give them to get started and maybe even help them fall in love with the process the way you have?
If it's the answer you get, it's a PS call. If they understand the importance of sending that card out and saying, call me because I have some information on the upcoming year, or call me because there's a new change of rates or a program that I want to share with you, and they call, I'll guarantee you they will send the next note out. And they won't understand the importance of getting that call back unless they send the note out originally. So just get inspired to do a note and send it out and get a response because you'll get the response. I always get responses. Some come by text now, but a lot of people will call me.
You hit it on the head. Is the advice you gave was use the PS, right? The plus of the PS, use the PS. Or have you ever used a Post-it
Oh
for your
yeah,
PS?
yes. The post is in yellow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to the point where I got off track with writing the PS first, right? The secret is to write the PS first. Then you can fit the note above it. I got off track somehow with doing that. So I started writing the note and then there was no room for the PS and I didn't want to put the PS on the top panel, right?
Or the back.
So I started using the Post-it note and putting it on top of the note and all of a sudden I got 100% response rate.
Right.
So use the PS or use a Post-it note as a call to action for them to reach out. I'm not sure if there's better advice because you're essentially taking like a handwritten note, something that's awesome and full of appreciation and gratitude, and you are turning it into the a relationship builder. Is it a relationship thing? Are you just being relational or are you being transformational? And I talk all the time about, I think for the most part, like Gen Wise, we have graduated from transactional to relational. We see a transaction as a relationship, not just a means to an end to get some money. And we befriend them and things like that, but we need to go further. We need to see that this opportunity is not just transactional, it's not just relational, it's transformational. They could transform our lives easily with referrals, opportunities, connections, business partnerships, whatever it is, and we can transform their lives. We can build their network of people they know through us to a really powerful group of people that where they are ingrained in the community, they can basically get help on anything they want immediately. They get to meet super people. They'll never leave the community because of the people that they've met. So we need to be transformational. One of the key pieces of a transformational aspect to a relationship is that there always has to be a what's next. If you just write a handwritten note, you don't put a PS, then you send a handwritten note, they might not call you. They might not text you. In fact, they probably won't. They'll just go, oh, that's nice. But if there's a PS or a Post-it that says, hey, text me when you get this, the mail service has been super slow, which is the truth, and you put your phone number there, they're going to text you and say, hey, got your note. Are they texting you at a time when they feel bad or feel good? Most likely they're texting you at a time when they feel good. That's a great time to have a conversation with somebody is when they feel good, when they feel this aura of positivity around you. Now, we're not going to manipulate that. We're just doing that to make this relationship transformational and that kind of thing. So it's better to have a call to action when they're feeling good. It's better to have conversations around people when they're feeling good, which also feeds into events. It also feeds into a lot of other different things that we do. Love the idea and the reconfirming the use of a PS, a call to action, a post-it note to get a response.
And you're right. When you changed I forgot what year we went to post-it notes, but I was writing too, and then you put it on the bottom, and it just lost its real meaning. But when you add that to the card and throw it in, that's the first thing they pull out and look. Then they read it, and it's an appreciation note. It's not any marketing thing. They just say thank you for whatever. Thank you notes can be business related,
Yep.
coming to a family event, had coffee. People miss the point of why you're doing thankful. It's every day we touch base with something. I would send you a thank you note for having this podcast because it's appreciated. And when you get it, you say that went well. But then you read the post-it note and you'll put that on your computer screen and say, I got to call Dave back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's everything you've done, Michael, has been inspiration to me since 2011. And I've been at this for 42 years, but it's to a point where other program can you do with any marketing brokerage that gives you this much enthusiasm to stay in a job instead of just getting out because you're frustrated with nobody leaving their office. I love it.
I appreciate that. All right, so let's go into that. You've been in the business 42 years, four decades, and you've written handwritten notes. What do you think it is about this super simple, small act of putting pen to paper that continues to be so powerful in today's digital world? Why do you think it's even more powerful than it was in like 1960, 1970, 1980, 1990, 2000, 2010s? It's more powerful now than it ever has been. Why do you think that is?
Because everybody's really on edge and they're insensitive. We started with calendars to our clients and putting refrigerator magnets on. So you and I could go back decades and say, this is what our way of making contact. But nobody is sending notes. People get the mail and they throw 3/4 of it away because it's all marketing that they don't want to read. They toss it. And you get that blue ink envelope and they're going to say, who's this from? And you're going to open it and you're going to read it and you're going to get a post-it. I don't think there's anything in today's world more rewarding to make somebody's day. I'll do one more story quickly, Mike.
Yeah.
Friends of mine from school, mother and father passed away, father first, now mother. And the daughter was working with her mother all this time, not her sister. She did all the work. But being helping her and all this about. Now they were going to sell the house. And Debbie said, I have to buy it. But I don't know what my sister's going to say. So I did a marketing campaign and I told her what it was worth. But she said, I wonder if my sister will take X number of dollars because I've been helping mom all these years. Sat down with them both, told them what we could do. She was happy with her return. Got mortgage, got her deal with buying it down with her money. She now ended up with a perfect mortgage money. And her sister got her asset. She now got a house that's going to grow more equity. And she didn't have to move out. And that has stemmed just because I stayed in contact with her ever since I got in the business. And she just had to call and say, what do I do? And we get calls like that every day. And that is because I'm not trying to push a marketing program to them to call me if you're thinking of it. I'm just there to be a good friend and good professional person if you need help. Same thing as sending February assessment notifications out. But nothing that we've done in the past ever matches up November. I get so excited over this 30 days, I can't stand it. And it's just so rewarding for me. It starts January. I told you last in 2020, I had the very best January I ever had in business from referrals. I was at a luncheon with ambassadors yesterday. All three of them had a referral for me. It isn't just sitting down for breakfast and coffee with these guys. They give me names. And they want to know how's this affecting this and should they do something? Yeah, let's talk. So it's really that's simple what you've created. And most people just got to grab onto it and not get all enthralled over numbers. Sue and I had a great battle. If everybody wanted to tag into somebody and have a battle, let's have fun. But that's some of the motivational factors that you've created. But it's all rewards. You go to national convention and see these people that from you, we go to national and run up to them. It's too much fun.
That's
That-
awesome.
Yep.
So you were talking earlier, like before we went on, we were in the green room chatting about some different things, and you were talking about like the simplicity and the power of writing 3 notes a day.
Yep.
So talk to me a little bit about that and complete that thought.
It started where after November, and then you started your follow-up program. I just said, this is silly. I could be doing thank you notes to people every day. So I just restocked and started to send 3 notes out a day, because why not reward the whole year that way? And that brings 1,080 notes out until I start November again. And it isn't about how many notes, it's about rewarding those people that became friends and associates with me. It takes a lot of pride in sending out something and saying, just thinking of you, saw you on Facebook and your daughter did 1,000 hits on volleyball. And I just have to commend her for a great job. That can turn somebody's day totally around if they had a bad moment. And I think that's what we have to do as professionals.
Mhm.
So it isn't just about November, Mike. It's about
Mhm.
what we're doing for relationships and people. That everybody has a bad day, good day, but nobody's going to have a bad day if they get a note saying, thinking of you and thank you. It just works. And I
It
mean,
just works.
and we're trying to put 30 days to note a day, but if you sat down and just wrote 3 notes at the end of the day when you do in your calendar for the next, you could write 3 notes of appreciation and pop them on a stamp and gone. It's like the penny a day savings program. You get 1,000 notes out in a full year, you're going to have business coming in every month.
For sure. For
Yep.
sure. It is about that consistency with a little dose of intensity every once in a while. Yeah, like you said, it works. I think that's the best way to bottom line it. Thanks a million again for
Oh.
coming on, blessing us with your wisdom and professionalism and your story about Notevember and writing notes. Just very much appreciated, Dave. You're one of my favorites. I always appreciate you. So thank you for being our guest here today on Referrals Podcast.
My pleasure, Mike. I love you as a friend, and thanks for the motivation that you provide.
Always. And thank you for the inspiration you always provide as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Dave DeBruyn from Grand Rapids, Michigan, Realtor of the Year every year in my book. I'm just telling you. So you guys rock. You've heard it here first on Notevember. What else can we say? Check it out at notevember.com, Notevember.com. And here's the thing. If you're newer to us, you're just getting started with us, maybe it's time for you to join the Generosity Generation. You can join the Generosity Generation just simply by going to joingengen.com. That's joingengen.com. You'll answer a few questions as an application to get in, because we don't allow bots in, and we do actually filter who comes in. But we'd love to have you. If you thought today's broadcast was up your alley and something that you enjoyed and you want to build your business based on love, generosity, and appreciation, we'd love to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the road to 1 million downloads with Referrals Podcast, and you are making it possible. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll see you on the next episode of Referrals Podcast.
Thank you.